Joining me now is Blake Bilder, who's going to be taking on Alex Morgan next at Dana White's Contender Series on August the 30th. Blake, how are you?
Man, I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, but clearly not as good as you are. I mean, fighting in front of Dana White at the UFC Apex for Contender Series, I have to imagine you're on cloud nine right now. I just want to start with when you got the news, when you first found out. What were your emotions like, and who was your first phone call? Who did you call and tell?
It was it was pretty awesome, man, because I had just wrote down on my personal goals exactly what I wanted in like within 5 days of like the ending date of my goals, like everything, like down to like the date, down to like the month. I mean, it was like Moses getting like the 10 commandments, you know. It was like it was written in stone. So it was awesome. And the first person that I gave a call to was my coach.
Okay. And I have to
Yeah.
imagine he must have been thrilled for you, obviously, to have this opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. He's like, yep, let's get to work. He's like, I'll see you tonight. He's like, let's start programming and get ready for this.
I wanted to ask you too, because a lot of fighters that I interview, the goal is always, I got to make it to the UFC. I got to get there, whether it's through Contender Series, the Tough House, or just sign straight into the promotion. But there's a lot of other great promotions out there: Bellator, One, PFL. Did that ever cross your mind, or were you just kind of lasered in on getting to the UFC?
Actually, my mind was open, like I was kind of down for whatever. After we defended the CFFC title for the second time, I was like, well, now we're gonna have a lot of opportunities and challenges that are gonna come our way. So I just had my mind open, and whatever sounded the best and made the most sense, we were gonna take.
I'm glad you mentioned defending the belt for the second time. Obviously, CFFFC, they're on UFC Fight Pass. Anytime I'm home, I'll make sure I tune in and I watch all of the fights. And that was against Regivaldo Carvalho, a round three TKO victory. Did that fight play out how you thought it would, or are you happy with your overall performance?
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. I mean, it was a tough fight, like right off the bat. We were getting hit with some shots, but it was a true testament to really like testing out my striking, because I had done a lot of striking in like the amateur fights, but my fights, as I've had them in my pro career, have gone to the ground pretty quick. So I was looking forward to testing out my stand up, especially with my new boxing coach, and it proved to be bad for these guys.
So what does this mean as far as your featherweight championship with the promotion CFFC means? Like, do you have to vacate that now, or have you talked to the promotion? What is the status as far as that goes?
Yeah, well, there was a guy that was looking to challenge me, and I was just like, "Hey, bud, like, sorry, but we got bigger fish to fry." And he's like, and he was like trying to give me some lip and da 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 da. Oh well, I don't want to hear nothing about da 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 da. I'm like, yeah. Easy, 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 easy. I'm not afraid to fight anybody. I'll fight you, bro. Like it's not that. We're looking at bigger opportunities, bigger paydays. He's kind of younger, so that's good that he's got that fire in him. But I'm 32, so I'm trying to get all gas, no brakes.
No doubt. I mean, you're coming into your physical prime right now. This is
Yep.
actually my first time interviewing you, so I wanted to just get a little bit of a backstory on you. What is your background in combat sports? Did you play any other sports when you were younger?
Yeah, I tried playing. I played football growing up when I was in like fourth, fifth, and sixth grade. Wrestled for a year. I I played basketball in like eighth grade. Then I tried, and then everybody was like, "Oh man, you should be on the football team," because was in the weight room every day after school. So I was on the football team for a little bit, but I was still doing 2 days with everybody. And then when it came time to play football, I couldn't play because I got in too much trouble in the off season. So they put a white jersey on me, and I was like, yo, I was like, you got to put me in the game. I was like, our defense is getting crushed by their offense. Like how is that happening? And he's like, oh, Mr. Bilder, he's like, I don't think you realize your white jersey, like, you can't play. I'm like, then what am I doing 2 days for? He's like, I'm sorry, but we know about the underage drinking tickets. I was like, oh man. And so once I found that out, I was like, man, football, I'm done with football. I'm good on this. Like, obviously I'm looking for something to keep me out of trouble and from being on the streets. So I ended up finding the boxing gym because one of my buddies got into a fight with one of the kids at school, and I ended up becoming best friends with the guy that my buddy was fighting. So I ended up working out, and I went to the boxing gym. I told my boxing coach, Johnny Johnson, I was like, hey Johnny, I was like, I just wanted to ask, like, hey man, like, I I I did get in a little bit of trouble in the off season, and they wouldn't let me play football. And he's like, well, what'd you do? I was like, oh, I was drinking, and I was like smoking a little bit of weed. And he's like, well, are you drunk right now? I'm like, no. And he's like, are you high? I was like, no. And he's like, what the fuck do I care? He's like, three things. He's like, one, no drinking in my gym. Two, no coming in high or smoking weed. I don't want to hear about it. Three, no wearing earrings. That's for girls. I'm like, all right, those were the rules. It's like, you just followed them, and the boxing gym was like my saving grace. That's like where I spent all my time.
And the rest is history. Here you are on the doorstep of signing with the biggest promotion in the world. Tell me a little bit about your team, your training partners, who you're going to war with day in and day out to get that work in.
Oh man, I got the best, man. I got Felipe Fogelin, who's a seasoned black belt in jiu-jitsu and judo. I got my coach, Adam Lin, who's seasoned veteran as a pro. Did really good on the Canadian circuit. I think for IFL. And then I got my boxing coach, Flame, who's just an absolute savage. I mean, it's not necessarily like the teammates. I've had a stable of teammates that are just like insane. Like I got really good guys obviously with me, but I think more so it's just like the programming that I get with the coaches, and the skill set and technique that I get with the coaches that sets me up to be great.
And do you have a day job too, or are you just training MMA full time?
Yeah, I make juice. I got a juicer that you can find at like Whole Foods. So I do that. On the side. I train some people. I was training a lot more people, but I've slowed down as, like, holding pads and whatnot. It does something to your shoulders. So I just want to ease up on that as I'm heading into bigger fights, and yeah, I'll do that, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
What is that cut to featherweight like for you? How big do you get?
Well, I usually walk around like 175, but right now, man, our weight is on point. Like, our weight is on point. This is gonna be the easiest weight cut of my life.
Would you ever consider down the road moving up a weight class to 55, or do you feel like 45 is where you're going to be moving forward regardless?
Yeah, I feel like 45 is where I'm going to be moving regardless. It's I'm not going to be one of those guys that switches up. I feel like 45 is has my name all over it. It's just what it is. My body gets down to 45. Like, when I make weight, I feel I feel good at that weight. I feel like I can hydrate back up properly. It's a little bit of a cut, but that's why this camp I changed up my nutrition. I don't have a nutritionist or nothing like that. I am my nutritionist. I just go off how my body feels, and my physique right now is just insane.
And August 30th, man, it's going to be here before you know it. What do you have left to do before you fly out to Vegas and get ready to fight at the Apex?
Man, nothing, to be honest. Like in my head, like even since I signed that paper, bro, like I signed the paper on the dotted line and it was set in stone at that moment. It was like it was signed. It was like a creed. It was history once it got signed. So there's obviously like things that you feel like you should do, but I think a lot of people overtrain and overdo things a lot, and because of insecurity, because of lack of confidence. So I've been just dialed in, man. I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. And I think if I just I don't think I know if I just keep doing what I'm doing, man, it's a wrap. I'm getting that contract.
Well, let's talk
It's
about your opponent, Alex Morgan. He's 11-4. He's got quite a bit of experience. He
Yep.
looking at his record too, man. He has 2 wins over TJ Laramie, who's in the UFC. So this guy's beat some high-level fighters. When you
Yep.
look at his game, how do you like this matchup? How does this fight play out?
Yeah, I like it, man. He's, from a good gym or whatever, but it doesn't matter, man. Like, like my main sparring partner was Marlon Chito Vera. So it's like we're talking about like beating high level guys, like I've beat high level guys too. I beat Brandon Jenkins in a kickboxing title fight. And it's just not as pronounced. And that guy's like, man, that guy's killing people. On the pro circuit. But yeah, he's got a couple wins over a good guy, and that's okay. But I feel as though my skill set is adequate to those guys. It's just my record doesn't prove it. Like this is where I get to go into the UFC and show like, yeah, I know I'm only 7-0 as an amateur, 6-0 as a pro, but I'm telling you, that's not what I really am. These are just numbers. These are just stats so far. But I got a lot of experience, and it's gonna show.
Obviously, Chito just fought and beat Dominic Cruz. Have you been around him recently? Is he someone that you still are routinely getting working with?
I haven't recently, since he switched up to Ruka. But that's the homie, like I'm proud of him. But I mean, I've been around like all these guys, the guys that fought for world titles. Alex Perez, when I first came down here, Carla Esparza, and I've been getting work from guys from Timo Yama. So we're prepared, man. Like I don't think, I think everybody has in their head like, you're only as good as like the stable around you. But I think I would disagree with that. You could be around really great people, but if your mindset is off or if your weight cut isn't good, that's on you, player. So for me, I'm on point with everything I'm doing.
So when you look at Alex Morgan's game, his skill set, is there an area that you believe he's weak in? Do you feel like you're going to be able to kind of dominate him in a certain area of the fight?
Yeah, I just feel like overall, like my jujitsu is better than his. I just feel like striking wise, I feel very confident in the striking aspect. Um and I just feel like, yeah, if it goes to the ground, I feel like we can get him out of there. I feel if it keeps standing up, like, man, we're gonna catch him with some shots. Like I understand he's good or whatever, but man, at this level, we're all good, right? I just feel confident in my ability, and I believe that I am above that, and I think our dynamics of programming and being able to switch up the striking will overwhelm them.
Obviously, Dana White, he's always looking for, a highlight reel finish, or just, being aggressive and getting, your opponent out of there. That's kind of like what Contender Series is known for. Do you
Yeah.
feel that pressure to go in there and do that in this fight? Or, I mean, do you feel like it's more important just to go in there to execute, to fight smart and then get a win?
Man, I feel like winning is of utmost importance. If he decides like, oh, you didn't fight the way that I wanted you to fight, like that's that's one way of doing it, but it's like, man, this is a fight at the end of the day. Like I gotta go in there and be smart and pick my shots and do what I have to do in order to secure a win. So of course I'm looking for a highlight finish too, Of course, like I'm not laying back, I'm coming to bring the smoke, but I'm definitely always gonna focus on winning.
Mhm. Man, I can't wait for this one. Contender Series is always must see TV. I tune in every Tuesday night all season long. And again, Blake Bilder meets Alex Morgan on August the 30th for Dana White's Contender Series. Great talking to you for the first time, my man. Definitely a fun interview. Before I do let you go, I want to give you the floor. Please tell people where they can follow you on social media. And if you have anyone to thank, any sponsors, floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. And yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Blake the Builder, Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter is all Blake Builder. And yeah, I'd just like to thank my Lord and Savior. I'd like to thank my mom and all my sponsors. They help me out so much. That's like pretty much how I am able to do what I do. Fuego Delta 8, Drip Drop, Rhino Rush, Carnivore Trading, um, Tacos Manuel, Dr. Kessler Family Wellness. The list goes on, man. But those are just some of the few, that have really been ride or dies with me, stuck by my side. Massage Matters, like these people take care of me and help me do what I need to do in order to make this dream come true. So, just blessings on blessings, man. If you can see it in your mind's eye, man, you can achieve it, man. Conceive it, believe it, and achieve it. The process of manifestation is four things, and it's thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions, and actions lead to results. And that's what we're doing. We're just making sure that our thoughts, feelings, actions all align to end with the final result, which is going to be that contract. I promise you.